Hello, my name is Ayush, and for this project I chose King David because he's a very central character of the Bible, and his story is incredible. The first place where King David is mentioned is in Ruth 4:17. It says, "As a son was born to Naomi, and he was named Obed, the father of Jesse, the father of David." This tells us what David is. He's a son of Jesse, but it doesn't tell us who he is as a man. The first point to know about King David was that he was a man after God's own heart. In 1 Samuel 23, it says, Now they told David, Behold, Philistines are against Keilah, and they are robbing and threshing floors. Therefore David inquired of the Lord, Shall I go and attack these Philistines? And the Lord said to David, Go attack the Philistines and save Keilah. And then verse 3 talks about how his men were afraid. And then in verse 4, he goes on to inquire of the Lord again. He asks, Oh God, should I go and attack these Philistines? And then God replied, Arise, go down to Keilah, for I will give the Philistines into your hand. And this goes to show how much trust he had in God, and the longing for David to do everything in God's own eyes. The second point to know about King David was that he was a very loyal man. In the book of 1 Samuel, King Saul was very jealous of David and how much the Israelites loved him. So King Saul wanted him dead. However, David was so loyal that he lamented after King Saul's death, and he said, I shall not lay my hand on God's anointed. In the book of 2 Samuel, we see the same thing with Absalom, his own son, who tried to overthrow him, and David again lamented over his death. The third point to know about King David is that despite being after God's own heart, he wasn't perfect. In 2 Samuel 11, he committed a sin with Bathsheba. He committed adultery with her, and then Bathsheba came over to him and said that she was pregnant with his son. And now Bathsheba was already married to Uriah, who was in King David's army. So King David decided to have Uriah killed in war, which displeased the Lord. And then in 2 Samuel 12:14, God spoke to Nathan to go to David and say, Nevertheless, because by this deed you have utterly scorned the Lord, the child who is born to you shall die. And then in 2 Samuel 13, David's son Amnon committed adultery with Tamar, who's his sister. And then Absalom, another son of David, killed Amnon, and that just led to the whole downfall of King David's family. And then in the book of First Kings, Solomon, the second born from David and Bathsheba, he seeked the women of other nations, and God had told him not to marry or even look at the women of other nation, yet he still did, and which led to him falling into idolatry. And that also is a sign of the downfall of King David's family. Those are the three key features I believe that everyone should know about King David if you're studying him.